Artist self-doubt. Just about everybody goes through it. And what do you do about it? My own dreams before were I just wanted to get a job. I just wanted to get a job doing art, sharpening pencils, whatever it might be. Why? Because I didn't dare to dream big. I had a lot of self-doubt. So how did I get myself to work in Hollywood movies, AAA games, things like that? Well, here are some tips for you about the core principles that I go by, that I live by, that have helped my career in so many different ways. Define success in ways that we can control it. There's no point in putting all of your hopes and dreams into things that are out of your control. Whether or not you get that job, whether or not you get that promotion, whether or not you get whatever it might be. Let's change the way that we think about success. That was a huge one for me. I now think about success as a few different parts. So, number one, try your hardest. This is something that everybody can do. You can all say to yourselves, am I trying my hardest? Am I trying my hardest? Could I try more? Was I sitting on the couch too long? Things like that. If you can say that you're trying your hardest, well, that is something that's totally in your control and you can succeed every day. Number two, check periodically where you're going with this. All the effort in the world running into a brick wall is not a good use of your effort, even though you're going at 100%. So a component of trying super hard and things like that to get to big goals is also looking up periodically to see where you're going. Am I going in the right direction? If I keep going in this direction, where is it going to lead me? Number three, expect bumps in the road. When you are trying to go after something big, when you're trying to do anything at all the great people that have done anything cool, they've all gone through huge bumps in the road. And you know what? That's what made their story so awesome. And a lot of times for me, when I knew about this, it scared me. I didn't want to go through bumps in the road. I didn't want to go through big problems before I got to my goals. But you know what? It's a part of life. It's like yin and yang. You can't have success without the bumps in the road to test you along the way. So this is what I do. Just change your idea of success again by thinking about it this way. If you're trying super hard, okay, if you're putting in maximum effort and you're using logic to see where you're going, if it's the right direction, and you hit a bump in the road, that's a sign by life just telling you, hey, success is around the corner, but we want to make sure that you deserve it. So we're going to throw this big brick in your face, knock you down, and see what you're going to do. If you're going to cry about it and go home, well, then you just failed the test. In order to pass this test, this big bump in the road, we have to keep trying super hard. And we have to be positive. We have to put on that smile. And this is why logically this works, okay? Because if something bad happens to me and I am feeling down about myself and I'm just feeling depressed and all that kind of stuff, what is my work output going to be? It's probably going to be pretty bad. It's probably going to be a lot worse than if I felt positive about it, if I did believe exactly what I'm telling you today, which is if there's a big bump in the road and you're trying super hard, it means great things are about to happen. And who cares if it really does mean that? Because in the end, the result of what you do will be that you're going to continue. You're going to keep going. You're going to work super hard and you're going to be positive about it, giving you a completely different outcome than if you were just sad about it all the time. And then you don't do as much and so on and so forth. So expecting bumps in the road, huge. How do you use logic? That's number four. Do what you feel the successful, confident version of yourself would do. What if you weren't so self-conscious? What if, you were already successful? Let's really picture that right now. Where would you be? When would you wake up in the morning? What would you eat for breakfast? Every little detail. And really just step into that person and start doing those things. and just pretend until your body, until your mind, until your whole entire person starts to actually become that person. And it sounds kind of woo woo, mystical, whatever, but it is kind of like this fast forward in life, because if you think about it, you start doing all the things that that successful version of you would do. Well, that's very different kind of actions than what you would do as the unsuccessful version, right? So even if you don't believe yet, just pretend, start walking those steps towards whatever that confident person would do, and you should do great. Okay, and lastly, keep taking steps forward. Because if you keep taking steps forward, no matter how daunting your goal is, you're going to have momentum. Keep thinking about where your goal is, and if this step that I'm going to take by picking up my sketchbook, sketching a bunch of creatures, is that going to get me closer to my goal of working on movies, designing creatures for them? Keep thinking about it that way. And that way, the big goals that you have won't be as daunting. So those are literally the most important things that I've adopted, that I pass on to others, that I tell people, as many people as I can about, to break down artist self-doubt. If you like this video, share it amongst your friends. Share it with the people that need this, because that's why I make these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. You could press the little Eiffel Tower there, or yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, take care, everybody. So over the last 10 years, I've interviewed over 70 very successful artists, and over the time, you can see who has become even more successful and who maybe has dropped from the wayside. So I want to make this video all about, what do the most successful artists that I've ever met have in common?